Hey, puppy! Puppy dog, here, buddy. Hey, pal. You ready to listen to our own shumer? Talk about the yeah? Good dog. Sit, Ubu. Good dog.
Alright, I'm gonna take some. Alright, this is the Awesome Sauce Comics podcast. This is brave&the. I'm here with historian, artist, author, Silver Age comics, Arlin Shumer. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, how are you? Good to be here.
Good. First off, how did you enjoy KinderCon last Saturday?
Oh, I had a great time. It was a small crowd, but it was nice. It was intimate. I did my visual lecture as I trying to brand the word visual lecture because, the word lecture is such a negative connotation. That what I do in comics is so much more than what most people think a lecture is. And they're so visual because I spend so much time on the visuals behind me that I try to brand them visual lectures with the same L of visual lecture. And I had a nice little crowd for that. Like I said, it was small.
And you did your lecture.
I did my Batman 50th anniversary of the Batman TV series lecture.
Yeah, actually, when you did your lecture, the main room was empty.
Really? Well, like I said, it was a small gathering, but when I actually did my lecture, I had a nice little group. So that was that.
Yeah, cool. Like I said, the hall was empty when you were doing your thing, so I'm glad you had a nice crowd. And I'm also glad you had a good time out there. Thank you for coming, because I didn't have much time to really walk around and talk with you because I was...
I did it as a favor for our mutual friend Tom Jaron. I've known for a couple of years. You probably know him longer.
Maybe around the same time. My audience...
I got the impression you guys are old friends or something.
Let's see, we met in 09. And...
Well, that's about the time we met.
Yeah, I started doing shows. Me and him started doing shows together around 2010.
Yeah, that's about the time we met too. So
yeah, it is a fun day. I really like the fact that there was a bunch of young kids really into comics.
Yeah, very promising.
So you've been doing the last couple conventions, the 50th anniversary Batman 66 lecture. How has that been going?
I've done it a handful of times since January of 2016, which was the exact 50th anniversary, January 12th, 1966. I remember it months after the TV show ended and gave us the Dark Knight of today. In one single issue in the summer of 1968, 3 months after the TV show was canceled, Neal Adams comes along and in one issue of Brave and Bold to team up with that character Deadman, Batman becomes what we call the Dark Knight of today, the mysterious, scary, spooky Batman. Neal Adams gives it to us in one issue.
Hey, I forgot that he did that Brave and the Bold stuff before he,
Yeah, and people forget about that Neal Adams changed Batman after the TV show in the team-up title Brave and Bold in 1968-69.
10%. The only hardcover of his I have is the current one. That's only because I bought an East Coast Comic Con to get him to sketch on it for me.
What hardcover of what?
It's one of the Batman hardcover collections of his run with Denny.
Yeah.
But I got that specifically because I wanted him to do a sketch on the cover. You alright over there, man?
The problem with his collections, the reprint collections, you gotta remember, Anthony, I used to work for Neal, so
Yeah, I know.
that's what I'm talking about when it comes to Neal. Those reprint collections, unfortunately, not only are they recolored on this marsh white paper like all the reprints are, so the color now, Neal went back in and computer colored
like few W3 podcasts.
I not only cannot recommend them for their color reproduction, but unfortunately, you know, the patches really ruin the artwork. They really do. And talk to other Neal Adams Batman fans or whatever, I guarantee you they'll tell you the same thing.
And see, because of my age, I didn't start reading Batman to Frank Miller. And remember, I have like 20, you have 20-something years on me?
Yeah.
Alright?
Well, but like I said, the great thing now with the internet and with comic conventions is that it's very easy to go back. Like I said, in one convention, if you bring maybe $200, you can probably get all of Neal's great comics in those cheap dollar bins. So
Yeah.
that's what I recommend is that, listen, that's the job of history. You know, the great musicians understand their history. Keith Richards knows those old bluesmen that he borrowed all those, you know, guitar licks from. The great artists in any genre or medium know their history. So as a comic book fan, and this is where my book comes in about the Silver Age, is it behooves you as a comic fan to understand the history of the medium and know who the great artists were. And again, you'll be able to better appreciate modern comics if you understand where it all comes from. And it all comes from the Silver Age.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So what inspired you to do this lecture series on the Batman TV show?
Well, it's not a series, it's one lecture.
Yeah, no, but, you know.
But because of the 50th anniversary. That's why. You know, every year, most of the conventions, I usually lecture at the San Diego Comic Convention, and they always, when they petition for lectures, they always say, try to submit a lecture that's timely with the anniversary year. So, you know, every year, there's always anniversaries of something or other
Okay.
in comic book history. So, you know,
Tom, this is blasphemy. I prefer the adventures of Superman over Batman.
Well, you gotta remember, we didn't want our superheroes to be made fun of or campy, as we later found out was the term. We always wanted our superheroes to be treated seriously. When we were 10 years old, we knew, my brother was a comic fan, whoever were our little comic buddies, we knew if Hollywood treated superheroes seriously, they would be great movies. It only took 40 years, but we knew. Because we wanted our superheroes to be treated seriously. So, the Superman TV show treated Superman seriously. The problem we had with the Superman TV show was that we were waiting all of so long for Superman to appear. And then he would appear, and he would knock the guys' heads together and bounce a little talk shit, but it was never enough. So, Superman was not fully satisfying, but again, it was all we had. So then, imagine the idea that Batman was going to be on TV at night. We were used to seeing Superman reruns in the late afternoon. Superman, again, if you were young enough to not remember watching the TV show when it was on CBS in the 50s, I only remember in the early 60s through reruns in the late afternoon. So the idea that Batman was going to be on at night was called prime time. And in color, for those of us that had color effects.
You're making me want to build a time machine right now. Just
Let's paint a picture for you. The greatest thing that ABC TV did to build up suspense and anticipation was that in December of '65, they ran these TV commercials using Patty Duke, who was one of their stars at the time, Patty Duke show, as their commercial spokesperson, talking about the upcoming second season, as it was called, for ABC. Now again, you have to remember, in those days, all TV shows debuted in the fall, in September. Getting that TV Guide fall preview issue was like manna from heaven, learning what the new TV shows would be. And then the TV shows would run their course, and whatever got canceled at the end of the season, in June the following year. And then the new TV shows would come on fall in September. That's how it always was. The problem is ABC TV, which was, they were the Fox network of the day. They were the third place network. They were the new kid on the block compared to the industry giants, NBC, CBS. So ABC, like Fox, was always the one trying the new wacky offbeat shows. So, their fall '65 shows of ABC's have particularly done terribly, with ratings so bad that they started to get yanked in the fall. And ABC got nervous that they wouldn't have enough primetime TV shows, so they ordered shows to debut in January of '66, and they decided to call it the second season. Now, to you or today's TV watcher, TV shows come on and off all year long. Shows debut every day.
Exactly.
They do. Shows come out in the summer, in the fall, in the winter. They run for limited time. Everything today is different. So you gotta remember this idea of a second season.
Portrait flipped.
They turn failure into a kind of success.
Stop recording video.
Success.
Button.
They ordered Batman to debut in January, so they only had time to promote it in the month of December. But the great thing about these Patty Duke promotions, she was the spokesperson. She said, coming up on ABC second season, blah blah, Robert Goulet and Blue Light, and then we have Batman. Well, the clip they showed when she mentioned Batman was, the famous shot of the Batmobile zipping out of the Batcave.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't really see Batman and Robin. We were dying to see Batman and Robin. Remember, these three internet people used to say they were
portrait.
And hangs them on the hook. My brother and I turned to each other. We're watching TV together on the floor on our knees. We turn to each other simultaneously, and we go, "They're making fun of us."
Landscape.
Now we didn't know the word
Home
cam.
button to the left.
We don't know
Stop recording video. Button.
intellectual writer, author, Susan Sontag. She wrote this famous essay called Notes on Camp in this partisan review of famous intellectual magazine in 1964. That's where the word camp comes from. But in 1966, I'm 7.5 years old, I don't know what the word camp is, but we knew they were making fun of Batman. Now you have to remember, we were already used to the Sean Connery James Bond by that time. In December of 65, the movie Thunderball opens, the fourth Connery Bond movie. Those first four are what I call the canon. Those are the only four Bond films you need to see. Everything else sucks after that, in my opinion. But those first four films, Dr. No, Rush with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, those are serious spy films. Yeah, there's a little comic relief. You know, Connery's famous quips that every action hero has imitated ever since. You know what I mean? When somebody dies, oh, shocking, quite shocking. Okay, but those are serious spy movies. When I say serious, meaning From Rush with Love is practically a Hitchcock film. I mean, if Hitchcock ever would have directed a Bond, it would have been From Rush with Love. Now, you can't imagine Sean Connery in those movies walking into a discotheque and start to do a little Bond dance. Yeah, that's what
You had, now I gotta get that image of that cheesy head in my head. Thank you, Arlen.
Right. So when Batman in that first episode walks into that discotheque and starts doing the Batusi, I mean, we had already, like, forget it. When I say love-hate relationship, that's what I'm talking about.
I hear you, because
I hated Batman dancing the Batusi. Now, I know today is hip, groovy, you know, it's hip to say, oh, I loved it. But again, you look at the Infantino Batman of the New Look, and you tell me if that guy is going into a discotheque and doing the Batusi.
hells no.
Hell no, it's right.
Can I be honest? Can I say it here? So this way when I send this to Tom, he can actually hear me say it. I can't stand the 1966 Batman TV show for how ridiculous it is.
Okay, but you know what?
But I also love it at the same time.
Marty, I gotta tell you, everybody loves that TV show, and they all forgive it.
Yeah.
They all think it's the best Batman. I mean, all these polls, who's the best Batman out of it? Listen, it pisses me off when people my age that I read about on Facebook or meet in person, and when the subject comes up about the Batman TV show, and I tell them how I hate it as a champion, they all say, remember, they're my age group, and they all say,
different episodes.
In other words, and there were different types of Batman stories.
Excuse me, Arlen?
What Dozier did was take the first two Riddler episodes and instructed his creative team, and I use the word creative quotes around it, basically to knock off the format every episode, and that's why the series died a quick death and was run to the ground. And again, Batman apologists talk about, well, the first season was better. They even say it was darker. They're trying to take today's Dark Knight and like apply it to the TV series. Trust me.
Wait, what the darker? What the fuck?
These Batman TV show apologists, as I call them, they like to say the first season that ran from January to June of '66. So however many episodes that was. They like to think the first season was the best of the second and then the third season. And they even say, well, the first season was even a little darker. Meaning there were a couple more scenes where they shot Batman at night. Let me tell you something. They're so full of shit. The first season is just as bad as every other season. It only got worse. The second season's horrible.
And by the time you get to the third season, forget about it.
Season is unwatchable. Let me tell you something. I have this cable network called MeTV, which comes out of New Jersey.
Yeah, no, I do it too.
And it's showing the Batman, where it shows all old TV shows, right?
Yep, it's that Saturday night of Superman, Batman.
7 o'clock or something.
Yep.
And ever since it came on a couple of years ago, I haven't seen those episodes in years. And I thought, you know what? I know how much I hate them, but maybe all these years have passed. People love that show. And I thought, let me try watching them again. Maybe they're so bad they're good. You know, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And maybe I'll actually appreciate them more as an adult, and I live life, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something, Adam. I tried watching them as reruns. They're not so good they're bad. They're bad. They're so bad that they suck. They're unwatchable. They're so formula. They're so woodenly acted. They're so poorly directed. The staging. I mean, I saw one episode from the famous great first season, I think, where it's fighting Fall Space, which was their version of Two-Face. And Batman, the Batmobile, and Robin, they're chasing Fall Space in a van through, don't ask me how, but through like a western town. Like old Hollywood when they built a western town or something. Somehow they're chasing Fall Space through this western town. Let me tell you something. The staging, the direction was so, I mean, it was one step above an Ed Wood film, you know what I mean? It was horrible. It was tack work. And this is the first season that these fans want to think was so great. Let me tell you something. Like I said, it had some fun elements, the sound effects, the colors, the filter angles, I get it. It was cute. And it had its moment, and yeah, it was pretty psychedelic, and blah, 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 blah. I get it. I understand its good points, but its bad points so outweigh the good points. And as a Batman fan, we can only wonder if Neal Adams hadn't come along, what would have happened to the character? I don't think Herb Novik was going to save Batman, you know what I mean?
No.
So, that's my take on that for Schluter TV series.
Very interesting, my friend.
I hope I get to do it again somewhere before 2016 is out.
Cool. Actually, there was one thing I've been trying to confirm on the internet, which I was researching before I called you. Is it true that, Hugh Hefner, had a hand in
Yes.
integration of the TV show?
Yes. Without Hugh Hefner, we might not have had Batman happen to happen. You might ask,
Yeah.
and I guess you're asking.
Yeah, because Hugh Hefner's like my childhood hero.
Back when he had his Playboy mansion in Chicago.
Wow.
Mansion out in Los Angeles during the 70s. But in the 60s, it was based in Chicago. He had a mansion on the main drag there in Chicago, and all the beautiful people inside used to hang out at his mansion. And
So,
Actors, right? They always come and hang out.
yep.
So one of the things that happened is he was constantly management, going out in the 30s and things. He loved the old Batman serials from the 40s. And if you think the TV shows suck,
Let's not even talk about how crappy those are.
how horrible these two serials, one from 43 and one from 48. They're movies. Like I said, they're unwatchable. They're horrible. But they're so bad they're good in the sense of you have to really screen them. Yeah, of course, his own little movie theater. He would be showing these Batman serials in the background in 1964 and early 65. And people would be laughing at them and making fun of them and yelling back at the screen. Kind of like pre-Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's how he was running these things. Because when you watch them, you'll know why it's easy to laugh at them and yell back at the screen. Because they suck. They're like Ed Wood Batman films, if you can imagine that.
I know. I'll try watching them sober for once, those two serials, and I'll try that.
There aren't enough psychedelic drugs to get you high enough to be able to watch those serials and actually enjoy them. But, so, as legend has it, sometime in 1954, maybe early 65, an ABC executive was in one of those Playboy Mansion late night soirees, and he's watching all the groovy people, the hit people of the day, enjoying these Batman serials, enjoying meaning they were making fun of them, but they were enjoying themselves. Everybody had a great time. So the ABC executive, whoever that is, never been, he's like an urban legend. We don't know if he's real or not, but as the legend has it, whoever that ABC executive was, went back to Los Angeles and told his bosses about what he witnessed. He said, we should look into getting the rights to do Batman as a TV series. And you gotta remember, ABC being the Fox network of the day, they were open to all these ideas like that. CBS and NBC never would have done Batman. That was way beneath them. They were busy trying to show, look, television can be sophisticated. Anyway, and that's how Batman ended up being an ABC TV show.
That's amazing.
Truth is stranger than fiction, as they say.
And that's all like I was saying. Hugh Hefner is one of my childhood heroes, so that's why I was trying to.
Like I said, without Hugh Hefner and that anonymous ABC executive, and you gotta remember the ABC, the high executive who approved it was an ABC executive named Bill Self, S-E-L-F. He's also the guy that okayed the Twilight Zone. You know what I mean? So we gotta thank Bill Self.
Nice.
To be the guy that greenlit Batman for ABC.
That's fascinating. And it's also fascinating how none of the original DC television really holds up.
That's the original what?
None of the original television based on DC characters really holds up for me.
No, they hold up. Well, do you mean for you personally? Or in general? What do you mean?
I think for me personally, Batman 66 has its moments. Wonder Woman does not hold up for me.
Listen, they all suck. I agree with you. And like I said, Superman has his moments, but I gotta tell you, even as a kid, reading the Kirk Swan Superman, George Reeves didn't look like him at all. He had slick back brown hair, not the black hair of the spit girl. His build wasn't exactly what I would call
let's see. Do you think it was suicide or murder?
Was this the day he killed himself?
Day he was murdered. I don't believe the suicide story.
Oh, that's all that story, but was it June 16th?
Yep.
And what's today, 16th?
Yep.
I should post something about that, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you saw the movie Hollywood, did you see the movie?
Yes, I did.
I thought that was brilliant. And that you went in thinking, okay, yeah, it's definitely not a suicide, he was definitely murdered. But I gotta tell you, when you come out of that movie, because they present all the different scenarios, I at least came out of that movie going, maybe he did kill himself. In other words, they laid out all the evidence, and I don't know about you, but I came away from Hollywoodland, which, by the way, anybody listening, if they have not seen the movie Hollywoodland, which came out 10 years ago, 2006, they're missing one of the best movies of the 21st century.
And it's one of Ben Affleck's best roles, too.
One of his best roles, great ensemble acting. I mean, there's a lot of it. Diane Lane, Bob Hoskins. It's a great ensemble movie. The women in George Reeves' lives were great actresses. Diane Lane and this other one, the brunette, she was great. The point is what I thought was brilliant about Hollywoodland was that it took all of the known evidence. It's like the JFK movie. It presented all the conspiracy theories. Was he murdered by the guy because he was the fixer in Hollywood and Reeves was having an affair with the guy's wife and da da da.
Yeah, they did a great job with getting it.
But like I said, the great thing about the movie was if you went in kind of thinking, okay, this is going to be a movie that's going to finally show that George Reeves did not commit suicide, that he was murdered, you came out of it with, like, the director and the writer took you on a little journey where when you came out of it, you weren't so sure that he was murdered, and if anything, it kind of reinforced the idea that he probably did kill himself. And suicide is the one sin that dare not speak its name, even in today's culture, where people talk about anything and everything in the public airwaves. Suicide is a very tricky, very serious, very complex discussion to have in the public airwaves, and the media does not want to have that discussion because talking about why successful people kill themselves goes against the very grain of the American dream. Like, they're successful, they've got money, he was George Reeves, how could he kill himself? Robin Williams, oh, he was the greatest, how could he kill himself?
Yeah, so you think the words right out of my mouth.
Every other day, somebody kills themselves, successful or not. Even when somebody's not successful, they kill themselves. People judge them and they don't want to discuss why. And like I said, it's very thorny, complex. And like I said, in this day and age where everything gets discussed, suicide is so not discussed.
And I think it should.
Portrait.
Maybe
52
I don't know what your feeling is about this. Wow, I'm actually gonna get serious on my own show for once.
Viewfinder.
Maybe
Take
something that should be
pic.
discussed
Start
a little bit more.
recording video.
I said, I
Button.
can't believe I'm actually gonna get serious for a minute on my own program.
Okay, but what did you say?
I said, you think maybe it should be discussed a little bit more?
Well, this is what I'm saying. It absolutely should because everybody's affected by it. I guarantee you, everybody you know has a family member or knows somebody that committed suicide. It is more prevalent than you think. And yet it doesn't get talked about. If you look at the way the news covers suicide, they'll tell you the who, what, when, where, but not the why of the suicide. Because the why is complex. And the news
Yes, I do.
So, that brings us back to, how do we get on the subject?
George Reeves?
Oh, yes, George Reeves. So, the point is it's easier, it's more comforting to believe he was murdered than it is to have to deal with his suicide and the sadness of it. You know? So, and that goes for talking about Robin Williams or anybody. And like I said, you know, there was a fashion guy, Alexander McQueen, I think his name was, at the height of the fashion world a year ago, a young guy.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Right, he committed suicide. You know, in every field, music, art, everything, people commit suicide. Remember that David Bowie song with Queen, Under Pressure?
Yep.
Under Pressure is one of the great songs of all time because it was a rock and roll song that dealt with the very things we're talking about. It's the pressure of knowing what the world is about. You know, you look at the lyrics that Bowie wrote. I don't think Freddie Mercury wrote those lyrics, but you know, that's how Bowie wrote it. You know, however it goes, it's the pleasure of knowing what this world's about, watching some good men scream, let me out. You know, I'm a recovering suicide. I tried to commit suicide 10 years ago. I had a horrible marriage and a whole story. But I'm talking about this from experience. And we live in a very judgmental society that loves to judge suicide. Oh, how could they have done it? They left their loved ones screaming. And don't they realize how selfish it is? Let me tell you something. Until you've been at the edge of the pit where the pain of life you're experiencing, and that's different for everybody, is so enormous that death becomes an easy way out from the pain. You can't judge a suicide, and yet we live in a society of people who live in glass houses who are throwing stones. And when it comes to suicide, they're very quick to judge. But like I said, until you've been there, and God forbid you should ever go there, because nobody who's recovered from suicide would ever wish that on anybody, that they should feel that life is so painful. For whatever reason, like that, everybody's pain is different. But imagine how painful it must be if death becomes an escape, a way out of that pain.
Wow.
That brings us back to George Reeves. If he did commit suicide, you got to look at the pain of his life. That he felt as an actor, he was typecast, that he was just, you know, nowadays, actors are dying to get a franchise. But, you know, in the Connery days, in the old days of Hollywood, if you played an heroic role like that, you were typecast. Connery hated the Bond role for years because he felt it ruined his ability to be an actor.
Yeah.
George Reeves felt the same way about that Superman role. Now, there's rumors that the reason why they feel he was murdered was because there was talk, if you know your Superman trivia,
Yep.
that NBC was going to pick up the show, or
Yeah, they were writing scripts on it.
series in 1959, maybe new episodes, and he was going to direct, and why would he kill himself, blah, 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 blah. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, okay, that I think is it.
Let's assume there wasn't going to be a new TV series.
Okay.
That George Reeves, at whatever age he was in 1959,
45.
right, was sitting there feeling old, feeling like his career was over after the Superman TV show. And it probably was. And by the way, even if the rumors are true that he was going to direct and be in Superman again, that might have been depressing. Think about it.
Actually, that may have drove him over the edge.
Maybe at the age of 45, he's thinking, holy fuck, I used to be an actor. I was in fucking Gone with the Wind. And here I am, and my only option as an actor is to go back to the very role that killed my acting career? I'd rather kill myself. Okay? There's your logic for why he killed himself. Now, it doesn't make it right, and we all wish he wouldn't have done it, but that's not the point.
true.
We all can identify with that, right? So the point is that that's probably what George Reeves was feeling. Superman or no Superman, he probably felt like his career was over. You know, he probably, if they were going to do Superman again, he probably just accepted it. It was probably the only thing that was being offered. And he probably felt shitty having to go back to Superman when he was only 45 years old, the prime of his career, and nobody was going to cast him in anything. That might have made him kill himself. Again, doesn't make it right, but that's why he probably did kill himself versus getting murdered. But just like the JFK assassination, until somebody comes up with the magic bullet or whatever they call it.
Magic 8 Ball?
Not the magic 8 ball. I mean, until they come up with the physical evidence, it's like.
No, that's true.
You know, until we get some physical evidence that UFOs exist, they don't exist.
Yep.
As much as people want to try to convince us they do. Right?
Exactly. But you know, that's very fascinating.
Does that wrap us up?
One last thing before we go, my friend. I have a challenge for you as a historian and as an artist.
Louder, I can't hear you.
I said, I have a challenge for you on August 28th as an artist and as a historian and as a Jack Kirby enthusiast. Would you be interested in doing something for the Wake Up and Draw thing, for the Kirby's for Heroes, for the Heroes Initiative?
You gotta repeat everything you just said because you're not loud enough. I can't hear what you're saying.
I'm saying, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I said, on August 28th, would you be interested in doing the Wake Up and Draw thing for the Jack Kirby charity?
Are you asking me a question?
On
August, what about Jack Kirby?
They're doing some type of a Wake Up and Draw, charity type thing.
Yeah, just email me about this stuff. I can't really understand what you're saying.
Alright, I think I may be breaking up too, which is the problem.
Yeah, you're getting fainter and fainter.
Alright, and with that, I'm going to thank you for being on the program.
Adam, anytime, man. Keep me posted and keep in touch.
Alright,
Take care.
alright, take care.
Stop recording.